Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? Hope you all having a wonderful day, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So today, I wanted to discuss a theory in RWBY, and this theory today is the potential power of the relics. So, I just wanted to kind of go into this and discuss a little bit of this first, and then go into the theory segment. So, let's go ahead and discuss the origin of these relics and things of this sort. And so, you ready for this? Sit back, relax, and let's start this off. So, first off, as we remember, the relics were created by the deity brothers. They were the four, gifts that were bestowed by the deity brothers to humanity. Now, of course, these gifts, they're very interesting because it also takes, the maidens to actually unlock them. And they are the gifts of knowledge, creation, destruction, and choice. And they were left behind when the two brothers actually abandoned Remnant. Now, of course, it is said that each of them contains great power. And, of course, each maiden is to unlock a certain one. Like, for example, choice is fall, knowledge is spring, creation is winter, and destruction is summer. Now, of course, with this, now that we know that Ozpin, he's the wizard who bestowed the powers upon the maidens, now we know that the maidens are basically the keys at this point. This is what we've discovered as of this video, that they are the keys to the relics. And, of course, the one being that really wants to take control of all four of these relics and use them to end mankind is Salem. And, of course, Salem is after them. And, with this shows that she wants to have her powers, just probably amplified, as well as, just trying to destroy and divide humanity as she has done thus far. And to show that she's done this alone, who knows what possibilities the relics could also, just put more burdens and pains upon humanity. And obviously Ozpin knows this. That's why him and Crow are obviously seeking out the maidens as well as the relics to actually try to prevent the destruction or the end of humanity, and they're trying to bring individuals together to try to prevent this destruction and to try to prevent Salem from getting all these relics as well as the maidens for these abilities to actually be unlocked now of the relics. Now, of course, we know that one brother was had the creation over darkness. He was the brother of darkness, creating nothing but destruction. And of course, it's interesting because we have one relic that's actually upon destruction, which would be the summer relic. And that's actually an interesting thought, considering that the summer relic actually has destruction. Who's to say that and that goes upon the summer maiden? So who's to say what that's able to do? And of course, the brother of light was the one of creation, which of course had to lead into the creation of good things as well as humanity being one of those things, and of course the creation being winter, the winter maiden, which is very interesting to actually look at because these are hilariously enough the two maidens that are actually not present at the moment. They're the ones that have no backstory on or any story period on them or even who they are, so we don't even know. Now, of course, Ozpin himself did have these academies created to actually guard and protect the actual relics. So huntsmen and huntresses were also trained, and it seemed that Ozpin I guess you could say looked upon these hunters and huntresses, the ones that would be, I guess, of the best skill, as well as some of the females for the maidens, so that a new maiden could be acquired in the future to be able to protect these relics. Now, of course, at this point, we do know of two of them. One of them being Cinder Fall, which Cinder is now obviously the Fall Maiden, and with her powers, Fall has the power of choice, which is kind of interesting. And Cinder herself is obviously under the evil influence of Salem, so she is working for Salem to actually, use the relics within Salem's evil and misdeeds. So that makes you already look at this in a bad way, saying, "Oh man, well, Salem already has one of the maidens." And then, of course, we also have the other maiden, which is the Spring Maiden. She is the Maiden of Knowledge, which is Vernal, which is under the possession of Raven at the moment. She is a part of Raven's camp and Raven's tribe. So, of course, the other two being knowledge and choice, those are also very interesting thoughts to think about, because choice could be something upon, like human free will, for example, giving them the ability to choose, and who knows what that could actually bestow upon, as well as knowledge. Now, knowledge, we have a more open idea here of what knowledge could be, and knowledge could, give anyone the knowledge of who knows what. I mean, basically probably even the world itself, which would make a lot of sense of Remnant, and that would make a lot of sense. Be very, interesting to think about. Now, of course, since it takes these maidens to actually unlock the relics, now here is where we're about to jump into the theory part. So that was the discussion part, but here's Gary to jump into the theory. So the theory part at this point would be this. What if each relic can independently give you a power? That means, because they do have a certain power themselves, choice, knowledge, creation, destruction. All of them have one specific ability alone. And obviously Salem knows this. So by getting one relic alone would also just increase her chances of getting what she wants. So that means, per se example, if she actually does, get the fall, fall maidens of choice of that relic, that means she'll have maybe abilities of choice over people. Maybe she can stop free will. Maybe these things can happen, and these can lead on to different things. Like, for example, the Summer Maiden's relic being destruction. Maybe the possibility to, because the maidens themselves have these powers, but maybe these relics could bestow the powers upon other individuals. See, that's an actually interesting thought, because if you look at it, Salem herself wouldn't have to even be the maiden to actually just control all of these if she got all of them. Now, of course, this is where we jump more into it. So let me tell you something I actually also think as well. Now, of course, with this thought in mind now, maybe everybody is at this point going to eventually get a relic, one, that they could actually use, and it could actually, give somebody, a certain one individual, a certain power. Now, if you actually think about that, if you put that into, perceptive thought, that would be a very interesting thing, and that would make it harder, because then it would be able to branch out the relics, or at least the powers. Now, that's to say, if the relics may not even give up their powers, or they may, go into one being. And then at that point, it would be one big fight over another. But what if it were to be possible that, for example, say if Raven acquired the, knowledge of, like the spring knowledge, like that relic, the relic of spring, which would be the relic of knowledge. What if she acquires this and becomes an all-knowing individual, like, just knows everything? So, considering that she's after one herself, so she is the, I guess you could say, anti-hero of the situation. And if she were to get this power herself, she would pretty much know everything, possibly, if that's what the knowledge would do. If knowledge would just give you knowledge over the whole entire world itself, she would then probably know everything. And considering that she herself has the Spring Maiden to unlock knowledge, maybe that could give her the knowledge of where the other maidens could be, so that she could also get the other relics in the future. Now, that's actually just an interesting thought, because then that could give her power over Salem potentially. Potentially, not saying that it would, but there's so many other secrets to her that she has not told us. So many different things, and that actually kind of intertwines with the relics, because she knows of them herself. I mean, then again, it's because of Ozpin, but at the same time, she knows of these herself. She seems to have a lot of knowledge on what these can do herself, so it's not like it's an inward force between, Salem, her faction, and then, Ozpin, his faction. So it seems like, if you actually think about it, Crow himself actually, understands the situation. He actually pretty much gets what's going on in the situation. So it makes you kind of believe at this point, what if it's possible that, they know more than they're leading on about these relics and they haven't told us? What if it is possible, considering that they are all trying to protect these relics, that they can, give a certain individual these powers, and they wouldn't even have to be a maiden at all? And it could be maybe even a stronger power than what the maidens even have themselves. So see, that's actually a lot to think about. And considering that if Raven were to get these powers, she could probably use them for the side of good, considering she is against, Salem, but then again, she is against Ozpin. She is her own force. She is the anti-hero of the situation. But who's to say? It's all one big theory. It's just all one big thought. Tell me what you think down below. I would really love to hear about it. But personal opinion, I think that this could be a possibility, that maybe the relics bestow upon a power that could be stronger than the maidens, and it could go to anybody. But, that's just a thought. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for taking time out of the day to watch this. Like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And share this with your friends if you found this, informative or insightful. So let me know what you think down below. I really love hearing from you. And remember, tomorrow could always be better than today if today was a bad day.